Hey guys, today I'm gonna do a study on Genesis chapter 35, so let's get into it. God said to Jacob, "Get up and go to Bethel and settle there. Build an altar there to the God who appealed to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob said to his family and all with him, "Get rid of the foreign gods that are among you. Purify yourself and change your clothes. We must get up and go to Bethel. I will build an altar there to the God who answered me in my days of distress. He has been with me everywhere I have gone." So God said to Jacob, "Get up, go to Bethel, set there, build an altar there to the God who appealed to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So he's like, "Oh, go to like Bethel, like the place that you saw that dream, and build an altar there." So Jacob was like to get rid of all your foreign gods and purify yourselves, change your clothes. We are going to Bethel, and I will like to build an altar to God, who answered me in my day of distress. He has been with me everywhere I've gone. So so Jacob is grateful for what God has done for him. So when God told him to do something, he went and wanted to do it, but he wants to get rid of all like the foreign gods and that they purify themselves. They gave Jacob all the foreign gods in their eons, and Jacob hid them under the oak near Shechem. When they set out, a terror from God came over the cities around them, and they did not pursue Jacob. So Jacob and all who were with him came to Luz, that is Bethel, in the land of Canaan. So Jacob, then they gave Jacob all the foreign gods in their eons, and Jacob hid them under the oak near Shechem. So Jacob like hid them on the oak near Shechem to get rid of them. And when they set out, a terror from God came over the cities around them that they did not pursue Jacob's son. So God has sent out a terror among the people so that they wouldn't try to kill Jacob and his sons or like take all their possessions. So Jacob and all with him came to Luz in the land of Canaan. So they arrived to where they were supposed to be, that is Bethel. Jacob built an altar there and called the place El Bethel, because it was there God had revealed himself to him where he was fleeing from his brother. So Jacob built an altar and called the place El Bethel. And yeah, he did what God told him to do. Deborah, the one who had nursed and raised Rebekah, died and buried under the old side of Bethel. So Jacob named it Alon Bakuth. God appeared to Jacob again after he returned from Haran Aram, and he blessed him. God said to him, "Your name is Jacob. You no longer be named Jacob, but your name will be Israel." So he named him Israel. God also said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation indeed, and an assembly of nations will come from you, and kings will descend from you. I will give to you the land I gave to Abraham and Isaac, and I will give the land to your future descendants." So previously we saw with this he already got the name Israel from like an angel of God when he Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he could not defeat him, he struck Jacob's hip socket as they wrestled and dislocated his hip. Then he said to Jacob, "Let me go, for it's daybreak." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." "What is your name?" the man asked. "Jacob," he replied. "Your name will no longer be Jacob," he said. "It will be Israel, because you have struggled with God and with men and have prevailed." Then Jacob asked him, "Please tell me your name." But he answered, "Why do you ask my name?" And he blessed him there. Jacob then named the place Peniel, "For I have seen God face to face," he said, "yet my life has been spared." The sun shone on him as he passed by Peniel, limping because of his hip. So, he's already been named Israel, but it could be possible that like God is just reaffirming that his name is Israel. But yeah, so your name will no longer be Jacob, but your name will be Israel. So your name is Israel. God also said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation, indeed, a assembly of nations will come from you, and kings will descend from you. I'll give to you the land that I gave to Abraham and Isaac, and I will give the land to your future descendants." So he's reforming the promise that he made to Abraham and Isaac. It's back to Jacob, so that you know that like the Lord is blessing them and he's still gonna fulfill his promise. Then God withdrew from him at the place where he had spoken to him. Jacob set up a model at the place where he had spoken to him, a stone marker. He poured a drink offering on it and poured oil on it. Jacob named the place where God had spoken with him in Bethel. They set out from Bethel. When they were still some distance from Ephraim, Rachel began to give birth, and her labor was difficult. During her difficult labor, the midwife said to her, "Do not be afraid, for you have another son." Her last breath, she was dying. She named him Ben-Oni, but his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephraim, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set a mark on the grave. It is the mark at Rachel's grave still today. They set out from Bethel. When they were still some distance from Ephraim, Rachel began to give birth, and her labor was difficult. During her difficult labor, the midwife said to her, "Do not be afraid, for you have another son." Her last breath, for she was dying, she named him Ben-Oni, but his father called him Benjamin. I'm pretty sure Ben-Oni means like something negative, like my like cry or like, something like sad. I think it's probably notes here. Well, Benjamin is actually a positive name. The name Benjamin means son of the right hand. But I'm pretty sure Ben-Oni means something negative, but his father called him Benjamin because he changed his name to something positive. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephraim. Jacob set a mark on her grave. It's the mark of Rachel's grave still today. And that's when Rachel died. So she died giving birth to Ben-Oni or Benjamin. And yeah. And Jacob set a mark on her grave. Israel set out again and pitched his tent beyond the Tower of Edom. While Israel was living in that region, Reuben went in and slept with his father concubine Bilhah, and Israel heard about it. Jacob had 12 sons. Leah's son-in-law Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun. Rachel's son were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Rachel's slave Bilhah were Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Leah's slave Zephalah were Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Paran Aram. So these are all his sons, and also, while Israel was living in that region, Reuben went in and slept with his father's concubine Bilhah, and Israel heard about it. So, this is to show that, like, I don't know if, like, so later on in the chapters, that something with this happens, or this is the only time it's mentioned. This is to show, like, that Reuben and, like, his sons are not gonna be that, like, great of people, really. I mean, Reuben was the only person who, if I remember correctly, didn't want Joseph to die, but it still shows that he's not good because he slept with Israel's concubine Bilhah, who's the mother of Dan and Naphtali. So, like, he slept with, like, the mother of his half brothers, which is kind of weird. Not really good. Jacob came to his father Isaac at Morah in Kiffor Abba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had stayed. Isaac lived 180 years. He took his last breath and died, and was gathered to his people all in 4 days. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him. So Isaac, like, because previously it seemed like Isaac was gonna, like, because he was getting old and he blessed them. And it seemed like he was gonna die soon, but When Isaac was old, his eyes were so weak that he could not see. He called his older son Esau and said, "My son," and he answered, "Here I am." He said, "Look, I'm old and do not know the day of my death. So now take your hunting gear, your quiver and bow, and go on the field of Galilee, hunt some game for me." So he's like, "I'm old and do not know the day of my death." And we know it's been at least like 20 years since then. And so that means like Isaac, what he was like doing that was like at a maximum was 160 years old, and he still had 20 more years to live. So I guess like 20 years is relatively short, but not really. Yeah. But yeah. This is Genesis chapter 35, which has Jacob going back to Bethel and building an altar, and then Rachel dying but gives birth to Benjamin, and then all Israel's sons, and Isaac dying. But yeah, if any experienced Christian sees this and I said something wrong, please correct me. And if you like this video, like it. And if you think I'm doing something good, subscribe. And I will see you the next day if the Lord wills. Bye.